James, you're live.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to AOR Tier 2. Sorry, I was busy on my phone. Very unprofessional of me there. But you join us from the Shanghai International Circuit in China, and we've been, of course, the Australian Grand Prix last time out, and a terrific race it was for one man in particular. A man known as VRT Herschel managed to get the win there, and well, of course, yeah. VRL or VRT? VRT Herschel, I think, is how we say, well, he looked very strong in Australia, but he's also changed his game attack, I think, since then. So he's actually Dutch gamer just Lars. You know him
Yeah,
better as
Lars as
Lars.
we know him.
But he's done a tremendous two-stop strategy last time out in Melbourne and managed to get the victory there. It was a very good performance from himself. He managed to beat TSR Unleashed, I believe it was, in, I believe, the Ferrari. So, yeah, those two were very good with each other on track, and it'll be interesting to see how these guys get on today. There are a few drivers that weren't here last week. I think XRL Robert, someone else, Boberts, let's go with that, is racing today, and Gorsh wants an invite to the game, so we will try and give him one. But yeah, that's not going to happen, is it?
By the way, thank you for the introducement, James.
Yeah, I do apologise.
I'm Commander, guys. Back here for round 2 of AOR. As you can see, it's the Chinese Grand Prix, and we'll see how the round unfolds. Obviously, it's going to be very exciting with seeing if VRT Herschel can come back from his victory in Australia. Yeah. Regarding
absolutely right.
Regarding the
Sorry,
strategy,
we just seem a bit.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, we do seem a bit spaced out this stream, don't we? I don't think we're all completely with it. I think it's just heat is getting to me at the moment. But anyway, well, I think leave.
Say what?
Gorsh wants me to leave to the main menu. Not happening. There's a bloody good chance if I do that, then I won't be able to join back in. He wants me to leave so he can get invited.
That has nothing to do with you, I'm afraid, James, so I think you just need to ignore that, as we clearly want to see what's going on track, and we can't have that if you're not in the lobby, so don't know what Gosh is thinking, but yeah. 7 minutes to go. Let's take you a bit through the track, if I have the presentation of the track right here, so give me 2 seconds. Also, obviously, VRT Herschel is leading the championship with 25 points, followed by TSR Unleashed in second place. So that's the live standings right there for you. If you want the full standings, you can go to Apex Online Racing's website and check out the Tier 2 Xbox One forum. And there you can find standings. But yeah, China is a very tricky track, high speed, and it's a very some drivers really love the track and some hate the track entirely. So it's a bit what can you call it? A ding dong track for opinions from the drivers. But yeah, personally I really like the track. China is one of my favorites because you can be so consistent on it, especially as a pad user. It feels incredible on that. But yeah, anything to add on the track, James? You have about it?
Other than the complete changes we did go on about last time out in Australia, of course, this track is, I think, one of those circuits where you can really see the, well, at least one of the corners of this circuit is, I believe turn 8, the long left-hander after the hairpin. I'm hesitant to say, and then there's a quick right after that. You've got the track map. I haven't got it with me, unfortunately.
Yep,
but
I have got it indeed. So let me tell you how the track unfolds. So it's a track of 16 turns. A turn 1, sweeping turn 1 snail section, as we like to call it. Really one of the most iconic turn ones we have on the calendar. And also it's iconic for the I think it's the longest straight on the calendar, if I'm right, James. Here
It's one of, yeah, it's one of the longest
yeah,
straights
one of,
on the
yeah.
calendar. Yeah, definitely. I think Abu Dhabi could be that little bit longer.
And
maybe Austin.
It's also renowned
But,
for its tricky middle sector, where on this game, or this year, obviously also in real life, you can almost take the full middle sector that you had to lift out last time. That you can actually do that. What do you call it? I can't speak. You don't have to lift off. You can just take it flat out. There we go.
Turn
just take it
7.
flat out without having to lift off the throttle or brake, which is amazing. Lap times obviously are going to be faster compared to the last game. Yeah, it's the main straight that gives overtaking opportunities. Also, sometimes turn 1 if you can be a bit risky. Very similar to the turn 1 at Japan, where you have to go downhill and control the oversteer. You make sure you don't shift down too quickly. As we have seen from Magnussen this morning, I have to point that out. you can make an overtake there, but it's incredibly hard. But it is possible. Otherwise, it's on the main straight here, as we see Taylor Ellis go through. Yeah, it's here where the overtaking opportunities can be, and also if it's wet, it's going to be even more spiced up. So yeah, I can't wait to see what's going to unfold, James.
Yeah, as I'm sure you probably just mentioned, there are a few overtaking opportunities. I mean, you can be brave through turn 1. It is obviously, you'll be cutting the mustard, as it were, through there. It's very difficult to get a move done. These cars are so wide that the turn 1 always tightens with turn 2 and turn 3 that closely follows. It is a very difficult part of the circuit to get absolutely right. Down towards turn 6 as well, the hairpin just before the long left-hander and the quick right. It's quite a flowing track, this one. I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of my preferences, if I'm honest. I can't stand it. But let's just say I can't stand many tracks because I'm not very good at it. Not very good at this game, not very good at any F1 game. But there you go. I've been constantly spammed by party invites by Gorge, by the way, which is kind of fun.
But yeah, 2 minutes to go, James. I think we should look at some quali laps. I'm currently following CJ.
Yeah, let's do it.
On a lap.
Let's take a look at CJ. Through turn 1, that's locking the right front wheel through turn 1. It's a very deceiving corner, as I just mentioned. It always tightens on you, and then you've got to fling the car back over the other side of the circuit for turn 2. So, yeah, as he comes on the run down in towards, this is turn 6. This little kink you actually may have witnessed there, that is technically turn 5. I don't really know why that's counted as a corner. Apparently Matt's gone fastest. I struggled to believe that, but yeah.
Yep.
No disrespect. Hayasu then goes fastest with a 32.8. So yeah, he was on. Was he on pole or was he? He was on the front row last week.
I'm not sure. It's really unreliable, this qualifying timing. So.
No, but last week in Australia, I'm pretty sure he was on the front row, but then he was so laggy that no one could actually overtake him. So yeah, we kind of interesting to see how he gets on today. Also interesting on how CJ gets on with just over a minute. It's coming up to a minute. So let's see. CJ coming down in towards the hairpin of turn 14, that is, and the little kink here, 15, as he comes towards turn 16, the final corner. You can't take a lot of curve on that inside. He duly doesn't. And across the line he will go. Yeah, no, you don't know. So
yeah, we don't know what it looks like a really tight lap from the British CJ. Finally just heads into the pit, so that's his quali done. Only 35 seconds to go in this quali session.
Yeah, only that amount of time, half a minute to go. So let's just see. anyone else on pretty quick laps. I can't really pick too many people out. Maybe Nopal's in the Red Bull. He looked pretty strong last time out in Australia. He was in a few fights. There was that almighty scrap, I remember, for P7, which I believe he was involved in. It was a terrific scrap, and I could be getting muddled up with races, and I do apologise because I've done so many Australian Grand Prix over the last 2 weeks that I would struggle to tell you. So he's coming through the final few corners now, and if you get the people that retire, Herschel goes fastest with 32.7 or last. So where will Nopals go in his Red Bull? Will he be able to beat that? I don't think he does. He needs to watch out for the others. Poodle is coming through the final corner now and coming to finish his lap. Where's he going to go? P9 apparently. Again, don't read too much into it. CJ is on another flying lap, I believe, in the Mercedes. He's going to be one of the last few cars to come across the line. Can he improve on his time? This is going to be costly for him because Gorsh isn't going to be able to race, I don't believe. And across the line, he apparently goes third. If he has, it's a tremendous effort from CJ. But again, don't read too much into it. Sam F1 LFC is also, I believe, out on track. Indeed he is. He is coming through the penultimate corners now. And it's a good opportunity to make a move on the down in towards turn 14, that is. And through the final corner he goes. Will Sam F1 improve? A 32.6. He's actually on pole position. The Sauber. Tremendous effort from him. And he's actually smashed it, I believe. So he's on pole for this Chinese Grand Prix. Here's what a tremendous effort from him to get his Sauber on the front row. I believe he was a long way back last time out. But, I mean, Mundo, take a look at just how close that is. Sam F1 LFC is on pole from Herschel, CJ, Bobbert, Midget Hyasta on 6th place, then Coldhead, sorry, and Unleashed, who got a podium last time, only 8th with Icebergs, Poodle, Nopals, Matt only coming 12th with Die Hard in 13th, Tyrrell Ellis is 14th, Franglish is 15th with Orbit Pride, Brown and Gorsh not being able to set a time. There you have it. There was your qualifying session, a very close one indeed. I believe the top 11 separated by a second, so tremendously close stuff in China. It's going to be interesting to see though who comes where, who can get where in this race, but we'll wait and see now, I guess. I should probably pause next time we go to a little F1 official thing, but anyway.
Yep, indeed. Here we go for round 2, guys, of the Apex Online Racing F2 League. Where today, James and me, it looks a bit cloudy if I'm right, so this is going to be interesting, and also hopefully you can get a quite great scrap for the lead, or for the win, sorry, between Sam and VRT Herschel.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to already go straight into the 5 red lights, and Sam F1 LFC will have to try and get a good start off the front row. Lights out and away we go. It's a pretty good start for the Force India on the first row. That's Herschel who's got away well. I think one of the Mercedes is going to closely follow him in behind, in towards turn 1. He doesn't get the lead through turn 1. It's Sam who keeps it, and one of the other Force India, there's a Mercedes off. That's CJ who's gone straight on through turn 1 and 2. But there's a lot of lag going on as well in that mid-pack, so don't be too sure on where exactly CJ is, because you do see a lot of lag. In fact, it is the McLaren of Hyasa, and also Bobberts as well, XRL Bobberts.
Oh,
and
yes,
Herschel is going for the lead of the race already into turn 6. He's pushed him out wide and taken the lead of the race, Herschel, and he's on a charge this season in AOR, and he's taken the lead once again. And that Force India will be one to watch, I believe, coming through through the rest of the season, I should say.
Indeed.
What a start, Mundo. What a start.
Yeah, as Gorsh left the session. XL Bobbers is also, we have 2 Force Indias in the podium. It's quite lag at the moment. The McLaren of VBI also continuing his bit of lag from the last week. Hopefully it won't bother the great racing that we're about to see now. So
Drivers
Here we
too
go.
much. Yeah, exactly. There is a Renault, I believe, going side by side. CJ is maybe involved. So Williams has gone straight on in the background. I'm trying to find, I think it's Tyrrell Ellis, who was getting mugged off last race. And he's actually under pressure from his teammate Franglish. So he comes down towards turn 14. He's going to be under pressure. And you can see Franglish, it does get a move done on his teammate, albeit aggressively, but cannot get past CJ. Franglish up into the points playing positions in 8th place. CJ then dives into the pits. He may have damage on that Mercedes. Meanwhile, back at the front, is there a Force India trying to go side by side? No, there was a McLaren lagging. But Sam is keeping within touching distance at the moment of the race leader of Herschel. So Herschel has got it all to do still. He did manage to get a good gap out on his first stint last time out, but he needs to make sure he can do that sort of thing again on a more regular basis, I should say. So interesting to see what exactly he can do. Coldhead has retired from this race, and not a good start to the season really for Coldhead. We may have expected more from a man who was in the AOR esports competition. Is well, losing it all at the moment, isn't he? And there's these Force India. You've got a Force India in third and McLaren in fourth that are lagging absolutely tremendously. So, oh, in fact, I think he's, oh no, deceiving as you like there.
Yeah.
Whether it was just me, but
Yeah, James,
he was right in the air there.
It was really crucial for Herschel to make that overtake past Sam, because now he can try and build that gap, and Sam is under pressure even more from the car behind. He has some work to do, only lap 2 of the race now, so yeah, still a long way to go. The guys will be looking for potentially 1 or 2 stop. I think 1 stop is possible going to the soft tire, or medium tire.
Medium tire, yeah.
Yeah. But if not, it will definitely be the sister.
You'll of course have to watch out. I believe someone like CJ will probably go on the 2 stop, I'd imagine. He put a stop properly early, so he's probably going to take a long stint on the mediums, I would imagine, and then go maybe onto super softs for the end stint. I mean, it depends how long you can take those mediums, but maybe even softs. So I would probably hazard a guess at soft tyres. But Herschel is getting away at the front. He's beginning to make his break. It's a very Vettel kind of drive at the moment. Well, from what we've seen of him so far this year, he's just, well, of course, last race in Australia doesn't prove an awful lot, does it? But if he can do it here, then he may have a good reputation going forward for the remainder of the season. Yeah,
well, let's take a look at the bit down the grid, not much happening at the front yet, as the dairy air affects very much TL Ellis and Nobles on the scrub for P7, and also the drivers behind. Here we go, the Red Bull of Nobles is going to make a move.
Yeah, looking at the inside, thinking about it.
Just having a look,
he's gonna wait
see if he can get a decent run into the straight. He will maybe get DRS if I'm correct, yes. He's going bold with the guy.
So he's going to
get
he's going to get a tremendous extra. Tyrrell Ellis goes a bit deep, doesn't he? One of the McLarens has followed suit behind as well. And now you're going to see Nopals surely breezing past that Renault car, but he isn't, is he? That Renault of Ellis is doing a tremendous job to hold him off. Down in towards the hairpin and hold 7th place for now. But now Nopals will try and come back at him again. We're going to see another scrap like we did back in Australia. It would be very nice if we could see another one like that, because it was terrific. Ellis goes a bit deep on the exit of the corner, and now you're going to see Nopals on the attack. He's going to try around the outside of one. They're just giving each other enough width on the
wheel
circuit.
banging.
Can he go around the outside? I don't think he can. He's going to have to think better of it, isn't he? And he backs out in the end. And Matt is actually up into 10th place in the Williams at the moment. So good start from Matt. He's into 10th. So he started 12th into 10th. Good first few laps for Matt. Albeit there have been pit stops, he will want to get involved with the points playing positions. And Orbit Pride going up the inside of Nopals and pushing him and actually tagging him. And round nearly goes the Red Bull. But you're going to see Orbit Pride now try to go around the outside through turn 7. He's not going to be close enough. There's a McLaren off. Oh! That was a big crash, wasn't it? Hayasa just went... Unless Hayasa's still in the race. Apparently
he's having some issues at the leg, so we can't really guarantee anything that's happened with him yet. But Nobles and Orbit Pride, the battle for P7. Oh, as Orbit Pride gets some
look at this train.
Contact.
What did we say? A battle for P7? Well, it's happening again here in AOR Tier 2. And we're about to see another one involved with TRL Ellis involved at the front of this queue. He doesn't want to make any slip-ups, as moronic that sounds in a Renault. But let's just see what he can do, whether Orbit Pride's going to get close to Nopals, whether Nopals is going to get close to Tyrrell Ellis here. No one making a move apart from one of the Toro Rossos, maybe down in towards the hairpin. Nopals gets a pretty good exit coming off of turn 14 and 15. I don't think he's going to be able to get a move done just yet. But Matt is also holding firm in 10th place. He's got to watch these guys ahead. They're keeping a pretty good gap between themselves as it stands.
We literally have a train right now for P7 and down to potentially P14, I think, James. It's absolutely mental.
If you're one of the few guys, because there have been a few guys that have made a pit stop early on in this race, you won't feel too disheartened with this, knowing that you could still get some pretty good points out of this race because of this almighty train. And Matt's maybe looking for a move down the inside in towards turn 6. The Williams is going side by side. Can he hold the Haas car of Orbit Pride? Cannot quite do it, and he got very close indeed there, did Matt. But Nopals is now on the prow of his 7th place, and he's not going to try around the outside. Surely not. Ellis cuts him off through there, and there is a Renault off in the background as well. These guys are getting pushed about. It's so difficult to describe the action because it is all over the place. Matt up the inside in towards the end of sector 2. And he's going to try again, maybe the switchback coming through the long hairpin.
James, can you check up at the front while we are watching this battle, because it's really crucial that we also can keep maintenance on what's going on in the front while these guys are battling. Literally a train going on.
Yeah, Bobbitt's has lost third place to Hyasas. The Hyasas into the podium position, but those front few cars, in fact, Herschel isn't actually pulling away at the front of the field. Sam is keeping within DRS range of that Force India. So this could be an interesting scrap come what may of it through the due course of this race. But that battle for 7th continues, does it not? There is a lot of cars involved through turn 1. And Nopals was actually looking for an inside move. He's going to open the door from Ellis, and Ellis is just going to have to try and shut it, slam in his face. He can't put the doorstop in the way. He has lost out to Orbit Pride as well as Nopals here as he comes down in towards turn 6. They're going to be side by side. Can Orbit Pride hold him around the outside? Goes very late on the brakes. Nopals is going to try and hold him on the inside. Is he going to keep it? Indeed he does. And Orbit Pride holds 8th place. Brilliant stuff between these guys at the front. But Matt has also now lost out to the other Haas car of Brown. That is, Brown's looking for a move, and the two Haas cars are being like your very like your counter. Well, I guess your countryman. And Orbit Pride's going into 7th place. Cyril Ellis is going to lose out. I'm not putting any blame onto Kevin Magnussen, but he's quite aggressive. Let's just see if Orbit Pride can get a move done. These two Haas cars, I love how aggressive they are, really coming at it. But Matt's also going to look for points then against Nopals. And Matt, of course,
Orbit Pride gets the superior run.
This track, and Matt's nearly make contact. There's a car off the road that was Ellis, and you're going to see Brown now try to make a move on Ellis as well as we head down in towards the hairpin of turn 14. Can Brown get the position? He locks up and he's through, is he? No, his teammate cuts him off from the apex and he can't get enough traction on the exit, and now he's going to have to run down in towards turn 16. He cannot get that Renault of Tyrrell Ellis here.
This is absolutely mad scenes, James. Look at that battle just for P7. The guy in P5 would just, P6 actually, the guy in P5 would just be rubbing his hands. Mighty midget. He's just thinking, yeah, baby.
Get away from this. And Icebergs is looking for a move around the outside of Franglish. Diehard fan is involved in that as well. Matt's also involved. Oh, Icebergs is looking at the inside of Franglish. Can't quite do it in that Toro Rosso. This is terrific stuff. But I do want to just quickly pause that absolutely tremendous scrap to just give you an update on what the lead is looking like.
Yeah, please.
Herschel leading still, 0.6 of a second ahead of Sam F1 LFC. So there is still that opening that Sam F1 could still win this race in AOR. It is very possible for him, but he's going to have to get past
to make a move
Herschel.
on the Haas now around the outside. Is he going to try to get the switchback? This is like literally a move on every corner. Now Evie Ahmed is side by side with the Renault going around the outside. He's going to maintain it.
Oh no.
He's leaving his room. Clean and fair racing.
He's going to keep it. Franglish is the man in the Renault there, and he's going to lose out. And 10th place goes to Matt once again.
And now Orbit
He's going to
Pride
have to
is
be
going to
wary
have
of
a look.
Franglish, though, I believe. He's going to be all over the back of him, Franglish, and now down in towards the hairpin. Has he surely got him? Indeed he does. Matt's losing it all on the straights at the moment. Can he try and hold him into the braking zone? Through he goes again. This is terrific stuff. But this is the lower points positions these guys are going for. They're going at it like it's the race win. It's absolutely tremendous. Seems all of the Toro Rossos goes, well, basically back to the UK with that as a line coming through there. And so has a Force India in the background as well. Matt is in 9th place. There are stoppers, but he is on medium tyres. So he is going a lot longer. This kind of isn't ideal in a sense, but it kind of is, because if he's doing this on mediums, then what's his pace going to be like when he gets on those super softs? Because he's managing to keep up with these guys, and they're all on the faster, softer tyre.
It was Matt, right? Matt is still here. Who went into the pits? Was that? I didn't notice. Sorry.
I'm not too sure. Brown. It was Brown, one of the Haas cars, coming into the pits. He was running quite high.
As we see, Nobles around the outside of Frank. We have a scrap of the two Renaults. Nobles
look at the two Renaults, and they're making contact through there. We could be 3 wide again. We saw some tremendous action yesterday evening, but I don't know whether it quite matches this. This is tremendous as we head down in towards the latter few corners of this race circuit. Let's just see if Nobles can maybe get a move. Matt's going to have to go defensive on the Toro Rosso, I think, of Icebergs, as they head down in towards the hairpin. He's going to have to watch that. And now Nobles is going for a move, surely. Matt is going to have to watch his mirrors. I think all of these guys are going to have to watch their mirrors, because anyone can come from anywhere.
Literally.
And now you're going to see Nobles is going to lose a position there. And contact with Franglish, I believe. And
the Toro Rosso
no, it wasn't Franglish. I do apologise. It was Tyrrell Ellis.
Oh, Ellis, it is.
And Ellis is going to dives into the... he's going to Hamilton it, yes! He binned it on the pit entry.
Unfortunate for him.
What looks so fastest? 36.3. That's a good effort. Iasa comes out the pits. He's made his stop.
Have a look at the inside of the Toro Rosso.
I haven't spotted that. No, Sam F1 LFC is actually taking the lead of the race. He's managed to jump Herschel in the pits. I didn't just caught that, and now he's in this train. He doesn't want to be involved in this.
They're both hit it, and they're in this scrap for those guys who are battling for like P6.
It's like 7th realistically. Now Matt's going to be compromised. What a move around the outside through 7. Tremendous stuff. He's going to have to try and get out of the way. Die Hard, he gets out of the way. These guys are just... This is absolutely crazy. This is like Moses parting the Red Sea at the moment. What the Haas car's off, Orbit Pride's off. He doesn't want to get involved with, maybe that's Herschel. No, he doesn't get involved with Herschel. Look at this. This is absolutely tremendous. We said it was close in qualifying. This is absolutely insane in the race. Matt is going to lose out again.
Nobles.
Yeah, he's going to go for a move on Nobles as well.
Side by side, now opening the and we also have EBR Matt and 3-car wide, just right behind
Herschel's going to try. Is he not up the inside? No, Matt goes really loud on the brakes. He's going to have to describe that one to us in his videos later. But he's run a bit deep, and he's actually managed to hold 6th place for now. But when will Matt stop? Die Hard is getting in the way of these guys. Nobles is ahead of this pack, and Herschel knows he needs to get ahead of these guys as quickly as possible. Through turn 1, can he get anything on these guys? Matt has gone off absolutely miles through turn 1, and he's going to lose out all those positions. And now Herschel is going to try and get the attack done on Die Hard through the exit of 3. And will he get the traction? He's on the fresher tyres, and surely he's going to take 4th in this race. Surely. Up the inside he goes, and he's doing a really good job, Die Hard, just to try and hold off Herschel here. But the two Force Indias are getting caught up in this scrap, and Matt has lost his wheel because of a lagging car.
That's a double retirement.
If his last race was
the driver.
Yeah, second retirement in a row for the Williams. He's not having the season he wants, is he? It's very much a Lance Stroll beginning, but if there's a Lance Stroll beginning, then you're going to get a podium somewhere. Franglish is currently out front in the Renault. Last year in AOR Tier 1 managed to do a pretty good job, but Franglish
Let's
is
go with
currently leading.
VSC Herschel. Has he made a move? Yeah, indeed. Already on the exit. The guys tends to make a move, like get a better exit out of
Also
the
going for the
snail.
move as well on the Red Bull of Nopals. Can Nopals hold the McLaren? The McLaren's up the inside, and I feel Hayasa's got 4th place here. So you're running order. Yeah, into the pits comes Franglish, has made his pit stop. When will Nopals come in? He's going to have to think about that in the Red Bull. I think he stopped this lap actually. So Nopals is into the pits as well, and Matt has left the session with absolute disgust almost, I imagine, because what has just happened to himself there. But Matt is out of the Chinese Grand Prix. You're going to have to watch Hayasa and Herschel. The H is going absolutely at it, the Force India and the McLaren. As they come through turn 3, Hayasa's actually going side by side, I believe, with Herschel. Maybe under braking towards the turn 6. He's going to try around the outside the McLaren. I'm not sure whether he's going to be able to make it stick. He's going to try it though. Maybe through turn 7. Surely not. Herschel's going to have to try and hold him and cut him off on the apex. Indeed he does. And Herschel holds on to second for now. But Hayasa is on a mission in that McLaren.
Indeed he does. And Herschel also has to think of potential lag issues from Hayasa. So it's going to be tough to do side-by-side racing with the French driver part of VBR Esport. Here we go. Let's see the exit of this corner. People tend to make a move. It's insane how much they can gain with a different line. And now Hayasa is owning the DRS.
Side coming down towards the hairpin. Let's just see if Hayasa's going to be able to get the position this time. The McLaren is on the inside line. He's got all the room in the world, but thinks better of it. Doesn't go for the move, but maybe the traction on the exit may get him. Oh no, it definitely hasn't. He's lost all traction coming off of the exit of the hairpin there. So Hayasa is not getting into second place anytime soon, but up the front, the Sauber absolutely, he's starting to pull away, isn't he? At the front is that is Sam F1.
Indeed, and they have just switched over, as I said at the start of the race, like a long time to go, and Sam has just made a vice versa on Herschel, made a rapid move and trying to pull away.
Yeah, so we'll go again. I think Hayasa going to try maybe around the outside. No, thinks better of it. Herschel doing a good defensive effort once again in that Force India. And I actually found out the reason he retired. We found out the reason for why he retired in RGL yesterday. It's quite a good one. He fitted the wrong tyres on his pit stop. He fitted wet tyres on a dry track. It was bone
that's
dry.
Unfortunate, but
sunny.
Let's focus on AOR, James.
Yeah.
I don't think any of these viewers are thinking of RGL too much. They're thinking of AOR F2, which is of course very important because Herschel is the leader, current leader of the championship, obviously only after one round, will still lead it if he's finishing where he finishes at the moment, if I'm correct. Sam only got P4 I think last week, so still a good result if he, really incredible result if he
close at the top
wins
still,
tonight.
Of course it would be. I mean, we're only 2 rounds in, but let's see if VBR Hayasa can get this move done on VRT Herschel, maybe down in towards the first corner. Not going to be close enough, but that McLaren is going to keep a tighter line potentially than the Force India, who's actually looking at it. Oh, that was naughty from Herschel, just having to brake going into turn 2, just stop the car right in his tracks, and he'll begin to pull away unless that was lag, and it probably was. So
Hayasa's looking to make a move around the outside
of him.
Outbreaks. No, he doesn't. He's now side by side suddenly with.
Yeah, he's side by side with him again. And Hayasa's actually got the better traction going with turn 6. And Hayasa takes it. Can Herschel go back at him in that Force India? Oh, this is so sketchy. I really wouldn't want to be Herschel
I just think if I was Herschel or Lars, I would just be cautious and don't be too close of Hayasa. It's unfortunate that he has to lose a position because of his lag potentially. Look at how close he is. He's actually not that close to him, but it's because of the connection issues that just bouncing back and forth for AOR and Herschel's screen.
It's like flinging an elastic band. It's just going all over the place at the moment. You never know where it might end up. And in this case, IASA is that elastic band, as it were, just going backwards and forwards, and maybe... Ooh, what is going on there? Horrible lag, is what I can tell you. Horrible lag.
Okay, shall we
Should we take them through the order?
Yeah, let's go through the order. It's VRT Herschel. I think he's having some issues. Maybe potential front wing damage. He's lost the position to his teammate XRL Bobbert. So, but yeah, let's give you an update on the grid so far if you want to give it us, James.
Okay, yeah, sure I will. And Sam F1 LFC is leading this race, but I've just noticed, having checked the tyres, apparently he's on super soft tyres. That could be a very interesting strategy if that's the case. Hayase is second at the moment in the McLaren. It's the two Force India cars of Bobbert and Herschel, third and fourth. Unleashed is fifth, the man who finished on the podium in the Ferrari last time out in Australia. And then the Mighty Midget in sixth, with Franglish in seventh, doing a pretty good job, to be fair. He is the quickest of the medium runners so far. It's 8th for Icebergs at the moment, Orbit Pride in 9th. Tiro Ellis is 10th with Nopals 11th. Diehard Brown Diehard and then Brown, I should say, in 13th place. Is the final car remaining. We've had 4 retirements so far. One of them Matt, one of them CJ, Poodle and Coldhead, all not being able to make any further progress in this one. But let's go back. I want to see whether that fight for the 7th is still going on.
Yeah, P5 or top 5 has been separated a bit. Tisa Unleashed though is catching up to the back of VSI Herschel. Surely Herschel is having some front wing damage, which is unfortunate. Yeah, look at the understeer. Unfortunate outcome from Herschel, but he needs to make the best out of it. Lap 15 out of 28, guys. Please let us know your thoughts about the race in the chat or on Twitter by hashtagging AOR F1 or AOR F2, whatever you want to call it. We will check it. But yeah, look at that Ferrari of TSR Unleashed, the German Ferrari driver who got P2 last week. Really impressive result there.
Yeah, absolutely right. So let's see. Tiro Ellis is getting caught by Nopals in the Red Bull. That is a battle for 10th place at the moment. Only the first 1 point you'll gain, of course, but it's of course 1 point that could become pivotal in a midfield scrap come towards the end of the season. The Mighty Midget, as you said, doing a good job in 6th place. Unleashed, is all over Herschel at the moment, isn't he? He's trying to hassle and harry that Force India rear wing, and maybe with a bit of DRS and assistance, this Ferrari will be able to get himself into the top 4. Herschel goes tremendously wide, and he doesn't need DRS because he's already passed him, but he's going to get it anyway. TSR Unleashed is into 4th place in that Ferrari, and a man that I feel probably should be feared as well through the end of it, coming through this season. He looks pretty on the pace, on the game with these guys, so it should be interesting.
I think Herschel's main aim now is just to finish the race. Obviously having some issues, and who's that behind? That's Mighty Midget and the Red Bull P6 having a lonely race in the mediums. No, sorry. He's had a lonely race in front of the massive battle we had at the start of the race. That was just crazy, right, James?
It absolutely was. We're on lap 16. The time has absolutely flown by. I can't believe it's already lap 16. And is it saying for you that Sam is on super softs, or is it just me?
I mean, I'm not sure. It's that can be a glitch sometimes. Also, it said someone on us or some ultras when they want sub. So it's not really that 100% reliable. But we'll count on what we see. So.
Because the only reason I ask is because Sam, he had a pretty, commanding lead, and Hayase, he's pretty close actually in that McLaren. He's nearly all over the back.
Just stepped up the pace really. Unfortunately, he's having some lag issues for us and others PUV. Doesn't seem to be
Yeah.
lagging now, so hopefully this will be a good fight for the lead of the race.
Absolutely, and hopefully it is. Let's just see how well it goes for Hayasa on his trying to get it all into the pit. So he could well have been on super soft tyres
Indeed, he was.
because he's made his pit stop now. So Hayasa takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix, but you must note that being on what tyres he's going to go on. That's what I'm more interested in.
That can
Whereas
cost Sam potential top 5 if some of the guys are not pitting at
go on to softs with 11
yeah,
to go.
Soft tires.
So this is a brave call. He's going to come out sixth. I don't know how comfortably. In the end, I think it's very.
Frankish is gonna come right ahead of Frankish in the medium, who's going to the end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Frankish will go to the end, and knowing that a two-stopper in Sam F1 LFC coming out ahead of him won't do
we
too
have
much justice.
5 for P10, James Nobles, and the runner of TL is right close to each other.
Yeah, again. Well, when I last checked, Ellis was ahead of Nopals, so that could be the move done and dusted. But who knows, because these two have been scrapping away for most of this, well, say most of this season, like we've had half the season gone. Of course, it's not true. But in Australia, these two seem to be pretty close out on track. Well, I think everyone was close on track in Australia, so let's just see what comes of this between Ellis and Nopals. I think Nopals has actually just got this position in P10 and looks pretty secure on that. I think it's probably time to do the penalty checker. Anyway, Hayasa is got one warning so far in his McLaren. I can't believe I just did that. Bobbits is he's on 2 warnings at the moment. TSR Unleashed, he's also on 2 warnings. Herschel has nothing, as you would expect. The Mighty Midget has a 3-second penalty, so that could cost him, because we know that Sam is on the fresher tyres, those fresher softs. There's a battle going on for P2 in this race, I think, between Bobbits and no, there isn't. What the hell's going on?
It will maybe soon be. You have a point, James.
No.
10 laps to go, but TSR Unleashed is looking to have the advantage. And can he maybe potentially do a back-to-back P2 or maybe even a win? Let's see, he's only 7.2 off. I said it depends how his pace is compared in consistency of lap times throughout these last 10 laps.
He locked up a little bit, I think, going into the. It's so annoying because it's probably lag, but you may as well have called it anyway. He just went straight on, almost through turn. I don't know what turn it is. That's really bad of me. Let me have a look. Turn 11. Sorry, yeah, turn 11. So yeah, it did seem to have locked up there. It took me a whole straight to think of what turn that was. We'll check it. Anyway, Bobbits is coming into the pits. He's in for another pit stop. The Force Indias are going on a very different strategy with him. He's in. Will Unleashed follow him? No, he's in P2. So Herschel is back on the podium. But he is being closely followed by the Mighty Midget, albeit the Mighty Midget will have to pass Lars and then push like hell, as it were. So let's just see how that one unfolds.
Oh yeah,
Sam could still get involved.
Went into the pits now on the super soft, so same strategy I assume as Sam, and Sam has well and truly come ahead of the Force India driver in P5, so maybe it's a good call anyways, but I think that if Sam could have stretched his super soft stint, he may have been able to do one stop going into the medium tires, but it's up to him. You know, these guys know what they're doing and what suits their driving style the best. But here we are seeing a scrap for P3, the potential podium position. Mighty Midget right behind the Force India or VRT version.
Yeah, there's so many different names of esports teams now. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we won't digress. Herschel is under pressure from the 4th placeman of the Mighty Midget. I do apologise there. And let's just see if we can get him down in towards the hairpin. Isn't really close enough. What's going on there?
Guys, make sure to comment in the chat your thoughts about the race. We are only 9 laps, now 8 laps away from the end of the race. So here we go, Mighty Midget. Is he gonna make a move for? He's now fighting for P2, and now, there he goes down the inside. Herschel's gonna get the better run though. Switchback.
Maybe can get the switchback through turn 3 as well. He's going to open the door, the Mighty Midget, and he may leave it too far open for Lars, and he'll take no second invites, will he? He'll go straight for it first time. And will he get him down in towards turn 6, maybe late on the brakes? The Mighty Midget's going to have to think about it. He's going to try and cut Lars off. Indeed he does, and that Red Bull has got himself into 2nd place.
Indeed, yes, and that's the best result so far for Midget. A driver I know from last season, obviously a good friend of mine. A very consistent driver and also very good in the wets. So we should
there you go.
definitely look out for him in the wet races and also just in general. He's
streaking away already, isn't he? There's got to be damage on that Force India.
Indeed, I could already notice it after he had some scraps with VBR higher.
You really can see it now. It's very visible. Will Hayasa come in and make a pit stop? This could be interesting, because when I did a race around here not so long ago, there's a lot of one-stoppers and they managed to get to the end. Hayasa comes into the pits, so he is going to make the call. So what are these guys going to do? What is the Mighty Midget going to do? What is Herschel going to do? They stay out. So maybe a costly mistake from Hayasa. He's going to have to watch himself now, because he's going to be the expense, I should say, of Sam F1 LFC.
Compared to the guys who undercut it.
Oh, Sam, this is going to be close. No, Sam actually takes
it. He's well and truly ahead.
He's well clear, isn't he?
Sam, yeah,
Roberts, he's through as well.
Undercut.
Oh, no, he isn't. No, he isn't. He's behind him. I apologise. I didn't see him. But yeah, Sam is miles out in front now, isn't he? He's got that undercut beautifully. Beautifully worked from him. And TSR Unleashed is he's got past the icebergs, I believe, and he's now going to try and get on the prow of the rear end of that Renault of Franglish. He will probably go to the end of this race, but P6 on a one-stop strategy would not go down a miss, I feel, for Franglish. That is a pretty good effort from him. Let's see with any of the other drivers. They're all pretty as they were. But Herschel knows if he comes in now, we cannot afford to change his front wing if he decides to come in. 7 to go. I don't know. Let's take a look at how long he's been on these tyres. He's been on them since lap 9 in this race.
Lap
and his
10
lap times
for
have
Midget,
been...
Yeah. I mean, it would be quite impressive if Midget can make it to the end. That's 19 lap just on the sub compound. He set quite some consistent times. Low 37s between 37.3, 37.2.
Oh, he's in.
He's in
Herschel
the pits.
Follows him in.
And Herschel
will take the
follows
lead
him
again.
in. Sam is going to be the lead of the race.
Yeah, he's leading the race again. So that was absolutely perfect from Sam. The time that he made that pit stop was absolutely pivotal. But let's not forget now, he has to hold off a feisty McLaren in Hayasa, who's going to be looking all over the place, I'd imagine, just to try and get this win. He's going to look for his first win of the season.
He will also have a battle for P4, even though I don't think it will be too much of a battle, as TSR Unleashed is on the fresh rubber of Supersoft against the medium tires from Franglish and the Renault. Still doing a fantastic job
in
P4.
Yeah.
So
good effort from Franglish then, and Hayasa, as we mentioned, he's closing that gap. Those fresh Supersofts are playing its part at the moment. He's getting very close to the back of Sam F1 LFC, who is looking for his first win of this season, as are many drivers, but he's going to try and want to get one as early as possible. Both of these guys. It's a good little scrap we've got ourselves in for. Hayasa versus Sam F1 LFC. The Sauber and the McLaren, not something you'd see every day, but let's just see whether it will be a good one between those two. You've got to watch out for Bobberts behind in the Force India. He's going to get close, but DRS is enabled for that McLaren. Will he try and make a move down in towards the hairpin? He thinks better of it. There are 6 to go in this Chinese Grand Prix, and we're only getting to the best bit. So this is going to be tremendous to see between Sam and Hayasa. And Hayasa's got a pretty good run coming off of the final corner. Can he get a good enough run coming through then to turn 1? He's going to look at it, but he's gone fastest of all with a 35.1. Let's just see, maybe around the outside. I said it'd be brave if he can get it done. He may on the switchback. Sam's going to leave the door open. Hayasa's going to go for it. Yes, no, they're squeezing each other, but I think Hayasa may lose out. He's getting pushed wide. He's getting squeezed off the road by Sam, and Sam holds on to the lead of the race. But Hayasa's going to be side by side with him down towards turn 10. Gets him, locks up, keeps his. That is very cunning actually from the McLaren. I like it. Yeah, opened his steering as late as he dared.
That's just textbook. Amazing racecraft by the French driver. Yeah, amazing to see that.
Yeah.
And also, just to inform, Tilsa Unleashed has passed the Renault of Frankish easily, as I reckoned. Now up to P4, next driver for him is XL Bobberts, but he's also on first Super's right behind Sam and VBR Hayasa.
Absolutely then. So we're going to the business end of this race now. You feel Hayasa should be able to pull away from this, but Bobbles has gone off. Bobberts, I should say, I think went off in the background. Actually, quite quickly comes back onto the circuit, but we'll be wary of that. And Hayasa will continue to lead. Let's not forget, for those of you watching the Twitch chat, to vote for your driver of the day. Think of any potential nominations that you may have, and let us know who you think deserves the accolade today. And if we were going to talk about a driver of the day, Mundo, who would you think you would give your one to?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean,
no.
Oh, that's
that was going to be who it was for me, and now he's left the session.
Yeah, I mean, Frankish is one of the contenders, but in my opinion, I would go for Sam personally. He knew what he was doing. I was just brainless there, commenting about his strategy. He knew exactly what was the right thing to do, and yeah, he made the undercut work. Unfortunately, VBR Hayasa just had the better pace on the overcut, or had enough pace to come close enough to Sam to overtake him back on the first supers. Obviously, the tire compound is very big. The what do you call it? The difference between the compounds is very big on this game. But yeah, Sam is still my driver today. Amazing drive by Sauber driver who will maintain his streak of a top 5 after 2 rounds.
Yeah, very promising start from Sam, and I wouldn't rule him out for potentially maybe even challenging for that championship this year. I know it's very early days yet this season. We've still got a lot of rounds to go. Of course, you can catch all the action of F2 live as well, which is kind of nice to have. But you can join us all for that. And nice plug that was, wasn't it? That was a class plug. Anyway, Sam, yeah, if I was going to give anyone, he's done a really good effort. I mean, Hayasa's been just as good, to be fair. Just managing those tyres well, getting on the super softs, managing to stretch, I believe, the soft tyres until this point. But yeah, there was always going to be that gamble from Sam going with the soft tyres towards the end of this race. Took the super softs twice and then went on to softs. So yeah, it was always a risk, but it was a risk that hasn't paid off, and Hayasa proves again today that you just need the faster tyres when it matters, and he's got that here on that McLaren. Let's check the penalties if there are any that we should really note. Maybe the leaders.
Yeah, I'm currently going at the back. VRT Herschel has hit it, as you said, his P8 on the first supers, catching Orbit Pride in the Haas, who's on the medium compound tires, obviously going to the end. He's obviously been on a long stint, so...
Die Hard making move on Tyrrell Ellis, and bit of contact, but gets through him. So that was an interesting manoeuvre. Herschel's all the way down into 8th. Yeah, you're right. Jeez, he's a long, long way back from where he wants to be, isn't he? He's not like this in the slightest. Starting on the front row, having a bit of front wing damage, I can only imagine. Finishing where he is at the moment, he's got to be gutting. But he's going to have to try and get past Orbit Pride in the Haas car at the moment. Who is ahead of Orbit Pride? It is the Icebergs. Wow. He's gone unnoticed this race, hasn't he? 6th place. Not too bad from the Toro Rosso. I like that. TSR Unleashed, actually, that was something I was going to pick up on. Bobberts, that was an awful name. He is, he's actually currently got a penalty. And TSR Unleashed.
Now Herschel's going to make a look now down the inside. Should be a fairly easy move. Orbit Pride doesn't do too much about it. Still side by side. He's gonna have to wait for the next opportunity, possibly on the main straight with the DRS. So
absolutely, let's watch out for that then. The Force India of Herschel, of course, last time's race winner, and we believe damage causing this race to go from bad to worse for him. But we know he's quite good around this Chinese Grand Prix track. He's proved in it, well, from what I've seen of races of him in the past, in other leagues, he's looked always pretty strong around this circuit, and keeps that record now. So let's see if Herschel can get a move done onto the back of that Haas car. Let's see. Herschel then moves to the inside. In fact, Orbit Pride is moving to the inside, trying to defend. He's not going to be able to. Herschel gets close, but not close enough. And now the exit of turn 14. Will Herschel be able to get in? Yeah, but it's not enough. So Herschel's going to have to wait another lap.
Orbit Pride is maintaining the pressure. He's doing a great job nailing the apex. That doesn't really bother by the Force India of Herschel behind him. So that's great to see. Herschel obviously wants to get past Orbit Pride as soon as possible to minimize that points loss that he has got this race.
Yeah, absolutely, just 2 to go then in this race, and Herschel may be looking up the inside through turn 6. We've got a lovely front wing shot of Herschel coming through, just trying to get past that Haas car. He's struggled this race as Herschel, we know that, and this is something that if you've just joined us for the first time, something that you probably shouldn't be too accustomed to, or should be accustomed to. Herschel definitely isn't a man of 8th place quality, I can assure you. He's probably near enough top 3 most races, I would have thought. Maybe top 5 most races, probably easier to say, let's just say that. But let's see if Herschel can get in with the DRS. He looks a long way back, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think that's fight over unless Orbit Pride has a penalty. Let's follow the lead of the race. VBR has for his final lap of the race. What a drive by the French driver.
Yeah, doing a tremendous bit of work, hasn't he, Hayasa? And well, when we all thought that the front row was a very good front row, in fact, it wasn't the front row, was it? It was 6th place for Hayasa here today in qualifying, but it was on the front row, of course, in Australia, a man who should probably be feared by the rest of the competition, not only for his lag, but his racecraft, because he's one to watch on his day, isn't he, Hayasa? And he comes through these final few corners now, a tremendous drive from him. He will be absolutely loving this, maybe wanting the race to go on even longer, but he's absolutely flawless out there. He's managed to pull out a 4.5 second lead over Sam. So Sam obviously got those tyres completely wrong when he did decide to come in. It looked like a good gamble.
I don't think he got it wrong, man. I think the two-stop was the right strategy. It was just Hayasa who had the pace advantage or staying out. He had enough pace to catch Sam again after he pitted for the second pit stop. But here we go, James. Last corner now.
Come on. Here we go, around the final corner then for the final time in China, and it is all 25 points for VBR Hayasa, who wins the Chinese Grand Prix in pretty spectacular fashion. The second race on the trot with a second different winner and a second different engine manufacturer. Fifth across the line comes Mighty Midget. It was very close in the end, I believe, between Unleashed and third place it may well have been. Herschel comes through for 8th place with a bit of damage on his car, we believe, to only finish 8th, with Tyrrell Ellis will be one of the last few finishers of this race. But Die Hard, actually to the line that was between himself and one of the Haas cars. That was almighty close. But Renault looked like they were going to get some good points here today. Tyrrell Ellis nor Franglish can score any points here today.
And there
So,
we have it, guys.
There we have it. There we have it. Let's try and get all these drivers in there. This is going to be interesting, isn't it? With all these guys, Haas managing to win it. And first, second and third, let's get this podium sequence over and done with then. And yeah, we know the drill. We've all seen this in career mode plenty of times. Well, I mean, I'm sure I have. I'm not sure about Monday, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, Hayaso wins the race then from Sam F1 FC. Boyberts finishes in third with Unleashed in fourth, and the Mighty Midget is a firm fifth, with Orbit Pride managing to get sixth, Iceberg seventh, Herschel in eighth, with Nopals ninth, Brown in 10th, Die Hard 11th, Ellis in 12th, Franglish in 13th, albeit not really classified. Then Matt, CJ, Poodle and Coalhead all failed to finish. Only one man finished where he started. That was, of course, the Mighty Midget. Here we go. Let's get these guys. Hopefully they'll come and join us for a few words. It'd be kind of nice. Whether they will or not, you know. Oh, Sam's joined. He knows the drill. And yep, they're all in. Okay, brilliant. So here are your top three then. Hayasa from Sam F1 and FC, and Bobbits. I'm going to hazard a guess as your name. If I've made a hash of it, tell me. Okay, brilliant.
No, perfect.
Perfect, brilliant. That's what I like to hear. Hayasa will come to you first. A pretty good effort from where you started on the grid, sixth on the grid, managing to win the race. What are your thoughts after a pretty good race win in the end? Yeah, so coming to the championship, thinking about it, is this somewhere that you think you'll sort of be coming towards the due course of this season? So for the rest of the season, do you reckon you'll be up there in the championship? Fair enough.
Yeah, let's see. It's a bit early to say, but you definitely had the pace via EBR here, so congrats on the win once again. And now heading on to Sam F1 LC, I'm correct? Congrats on the P2. What's your thoughts on the race?
Pretty good, really. I wasn't really expecting to be quick round here. Sort of struggling a bit in testing, but I guess I think it's a bit of a track that everyone sort of struggles with on this game. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise to be up near the front, and yeah, sort of did a bit of an opposite strategy to some people. Sort of went super soft on the second stint rather than the soft, and didn't really work out. I think it probably would have been the same result either way, but yeah, so overall just yeah, really happy to be on the podium because I didn't think I was going to be that high up, to be honest.
So
Yeah,
you talk about alternate strategy. Seeing what benefits it had for someone like the race winner today. I mean, of course you can't turn back time, but you're obviously going to think about that in the future. That maybe just follow the guys around you, maybe, or are you going to just keep on doing what you're doing because obviously you're not going to listen to me because I wouldn't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it depends on the race, really. We'll see what sort of happens. Sort of. I tend to just try and like think about like what would be best for me rather than like trying to worry about what others are doing. But yeah, maybe in the future might be better off to see what everyone else is doing. But yeah, I guess it
Yeah.
depends on the track. Yeah.
Don't read too much into that. GG on second place. We'll come to third place. Boberts. It
Hey,
seemed
you were
like your
right
teammate
first
had.
time with Bobbits.
Oh well, you know what I mean. I'm coming to you third place, but your teammate seemed to have a bit of struggles out there. I'm not sure whether you knew anything that we didn't. Did he have a lot of damage on that front wing?
He did. I think it was caused by a bit of lag with Hayesa. I don't know what happened exactly, but he just basically apparently there was a lag moment between him, and he got a bit of damage on his front wing. It wasn't major. It was like I think it just went to a light green, but it seemed to affect him quite a lot. So obviously that's when I didn't even give the team orders as to when it let me through. He just did it himself. I think just to try and see if our team could get the best result as possible. So it's very nice of him to have done that for me. But yeah, I kind of felt sorry for him because I think he had the pace, and I think he would have been, he would have been on the podium rather than me today.
Yeah, no, he was. Of course, we won't dwell on your teammate too much because this is your podium, not his. Unfortunately for him, you know what I'm sort of getting on at.
Yeah.
But that race for you today, are you happy with the podium, or do you feel that it could have been more?
Could have been more. I mean, just made a mistake on the first stint and I lost a few seconds, lost, time on the main pack. So that's when I had to try and undercut to try and just gain any time back that I lost. And it seemed to work at times. But, I mean, that last stint, again, made a mistake, which cost me catching Sam because I thought I might have had a chance of maybe sneaking second. But even saying that, the tyres were on 85% when I crossed the line. I was even lucky to stay ahead of Unleashed come the end of it. So I know I was really lucky to have got away with that. So yeah, I think on balance, I guess pretty happy with the third place, but it could have been better.
Yeah, but ifs and buts make up an F1 season, don't they? So, yeah, GG to you, top three. Monday, unless you've got anything to add, I guess we can round off the stream. But
indeed we can. We'll just say thanks for watching, guys. And we'll be back next week on Sunday for round 3 around Bahrain, if I'm correct. Same time, same commentators, hopefully. So we'll see you then, 8 p.m. Sunday.
join us. Bye bye.